Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We are here at Michigan International Speedway from the running of the Miller Genuine Draft 400. And let's get down to the track and get to the starting grid. Your pole sitter for today's race is Davey Allison in the Haviland 28. Outside pole, Mark Martin in the 6 Valvoline. Starting third, Bill Elliott in the 11. Starting fourth, Kowicki in the 7. Starting fifth, surprise up top, Bobby Hillen Jr. in that 31. Starting sixth, Ernie Irvin in the 4. Starting seventh, Brett Bodine in the 26. Starting eighth, Wallace in the deuce. Starting ninth, DW in the 17, starting 10th, Schrader in the 25, starting at 11th, Jimmy Hensley in that 66, starting 5th, Rudd in the 5. How's it going, Tim? Yeah, take two, exactly. Starting 13th, Dale Jarrett in the 18. Starting 14th, the King, Richard Petty in the 43. Starting 15th is Sachs in the 41. Starting 16th is Hamilton in the 68. Starting 17th is Kyle Petty in the 42. Starting 18th, last week's winner, Harry Gant in that 33. Starting 19th is Shepard in the 21. Starting 20th is Labonte in the 94. Starting 21st is Smith in the 49. Starting 22nd is Earnhardt in the 3. Starting 23rd is Marlin in the 22. Starting 24th is Trickle in the 8. Starting 25th is Glossenbach in the 90. Starting 26th is Musgrave in that 55. Starting 27th is Strickland in that 12. Starting 28th, Mass in that 1. Starting 29th is Sauter in the 89. Starting 30th is Bodine, Jeffrey Type in the 15. Starting 31st is Dallenbach Jr. in the 16. Starting 32nd, Little in the 9. Starting 33rd is Marcus in the 71. Starting 34th is Jimmy Means in the 52. Starting 35th is Cope in the 10. Starting 36 is Potter in the 77. Mr. Excitement Jimmy Spencer starting 37th in the 98. Starting 38th is Belmont in the 59. Starting 39th is the 48 of Hilton. Starting 40th is Jimmy Horton in the 32. Shotgun and last is Michael Waltrip in that 30. All righty, let's get down here to the dropping of the green flag. Davey Allison will lead us to the green, a 40-turn, 400-mile race here at Michigan. And here we go for the Miller Genuine Draft 400. And we start off with a middle group of star. How many stars we got back here? First star is Morgan Shepherd. He finished second in last week's race. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it yet, but that's not going to happen probably today as triples fly. 3 threes. See what kind of problem poor Morgan has. A 14. He's got a cut tire. He will stay in the race, but he'll drop back to 41st. All righty. Let's see. Is Harry Gann a star? No, Harry's not a star. How about Cal Petty? And that mellow yellow Pontiac. A 1, 3, 4. And Allen barely holds him off. Bobby Hamilton, Country Time Lemonade. Not going nowhere with a 6. How about the King? King, I like to see him get up there last year in racing. Not with a 4-1, he's not. Here comes Dale Jarrett with a chip. How about a 3, 4, 5? And he gets Bobby Hillen without using his chip. Goes from 13th up to 5th. Good job by Jarrett. Here comes Ricky Rudd with a chip. And a 2, 1, 4. And he gets Mark Martin, goes from 12th up to 2nd with his chip. Good job by Rudd. Got that tie card running good. Here comes Schrader with a 3, 4, 5. And Jarrett's going to have to use his chip to hold him off. And that's it for star in the first turn. We go to turn number 2. And we got a middle group of skill. He's got the skill. Oh, we got to move people up here. Hold on. Let's see. Can Labonte move up? Yes, he does. Now we'll go with skill. So all 41 cars are still running with Morgan having that tire problem, but he stayed in the race. So let's see here. Who's got skill? Harry Gant's got skill. Handsome Harry going for the top spot. No, he ain't getting there with the 6. Kyle Petty, not with a 6 either. How about Bobby Hamilton? How about a 331? That one ain't getting it done. Greg Sachs, that 41 car. Well, triple fives. Greg Sachs has a problem in the 41. It's a 44. Is that an odd problem? No, that's an oil pressure. Roll for repair. No modification. He's a C. Takes a 7 for him to stay in this race. He barely gets it. Sachs with an oil problem, but he does stay in the race. Mark Martin trying to get back up front. That Valvoline car with a 255. He gets Ernie Irvin, goes from 12th up to 6th. How about Jimmy Hensley and Kel Yarbrough's car? 254. And Mark doesn't stay there very long as Hensley puts his Ford up there in 6th. Kel Yarbrough's happy with that. Hensley's had a hell of a good year in the races that he's ran. Here comes that Kodiak Bear with a 362, and Bodine holds him off. DW with 2 chances here could get the lead. A 5-4-4, and he gets Dale Jarrett and goes from 9th up to 5th, and now DW is going for the lead. And it takes a 6 to get Davey. And a 1-2, no. Last car back here in the middle group with skill is that Deuce of Miller Genuine Draft. Would love to win this race for his sponsor. A 5-3-5. And he gets Allen, goes from 8th up to 4th, puts that Pontiac up in the top 5. Like I say, his sponsor of the car sponsoring this race. Let's see if Mr. Smith can get up here to the middle group. Yes, he does. He moves up to 19th. Everybody moves up. Still got everybody running here in Michigan. Sachs had that oil problem. Gets the car back out on the track. Okay. Here we go. Turn number 3. And we got a middle group of skill again in the middle group. Here we go. First up is Mr. Smith. Just got up there. A 3-3-3. Mr. Smith running that car maybe a little too hard. Has a problem. What kind of problems does Mr. Smith have? The Stanley Steamer, Stanley Smith with a 26. He has an electrical problem. And he is a E. He needs a 3 or lower. Not going to get it. The Stanley Steamer, the 49 of Smith, will finish 41st. First car out of the race here at Michigan. All righty. Next up is Handsome Harry Ganton. That's Skull Bandit Oldsmobile with a 164. And he gets Brett Bodine, goes from 17th up to 7th. Cal Petty in that 42. Can he get up there? Not with a 6, he can't. Bobby Hamilton. A 3-1-6. Ricky Rudd's going to have to use his chip to hold him off. Ernie Irvin going for the top group with a 265. Harry doesn't stay there long as Ernie Irvin goes up to 7th. Here comes Mark Martin in that Valvoline Roush, number 6, with a 5-3-2. And Rusty barely holds him off. Ken Schrader with a 6 ain't going nowhere. Dale Jarrett not with a 6. And like I say, here comes Alan Kowicki Trying to get that Hooters Ford back up front. He's not going nowhere with the 6. On to turn number 4, folks. And we got our first top group of skill and a problem. First, the skill. 5-1-1 ain't getting it done. Jimmy Hensley takes a 6 to get Davy. 1-3, nope. DW, 2 chances to get the lead here. 6-4, the wrong 6. 5-5, no. Rusty Wallace trying to get that Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac up front. 2-5, can't quite get her done. Here comes Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. And $1 Million Bill can't get it done. And that's it for skill. Now let's see who has the problem. And it will be poor Dave Marcus has the problem. What kind of problems does Dave have? 25. He's got a cooling problem. Again, it'll take a 3 for Dave to stay in the race. And he gets double 3, so that ain't going to work. So the 71 car, Marcus, is out of the race. And we forgot to move somebody else earlier for Smith, so we'll do both of them now. So Earnhardt moves up, and everybody else just moves up in the back group. That leaves us with 39 cars running here today. All righty, we go to turn number 5. Davey Allison still out front, followed by Rudd. Elliott 3rd, Wallace 4th, Darrell Waltrip 5th, Hensley 6th, Irvin 7th, Wiki 8th, Jarrett 9th, and Schrader 10th. And we got a bottom group of reflex. See if some of these guys can get out of this bottom group. First up is going to be Jimmy Horton. And he's going to have a problem. Poor Jimmy. See, a 64. Engine problem. Takes a 3 for Jimmy to stay in this race. Doesn't get it. The 32 car will finish 39th. 3 cars out of the race here early in Michigan. Have an engine problem, cooling problem. Let's see what happens now. Next up is Mr. Excitement. Never know what Jimmy Spencer will do. With a 1-3-3. And he gets Bobby Hillen, who was up in the top 5, drops back to 33rd, and Mr. Excitement up to 13th. He didn't disappoint. Here comes Derry Cope with a 2-5-1, and Kyle Petty holds him off. How about Jimmy Smut means a 3-2-1, and Bobby Hamilton holds him off. I'm sorry, wrong place. That would have been Mark Martin holds him off. How about Wally Dahlin back with a 1-4-6? And he gets Bobby Hamilton and goes from 28th up to 15th. Jeffrey Bodine, 2 chances here. Could get up to the top group with a 1-1-6. Well, he's definitely going up to 9th. Knocks Dale Jarrett back to 27th. Let's see if we can get that Bud Moore Motorcraft Ford up in the top 7. A 5. Yes, he does. A 5-1-6 gets from 27th up to 2nd. That Ford is flying, folks. Watch out for Jeffrey Bodine. Shoo. Here comes Jimmy Sauter. Not going nowhere with a 4. How about Hut Strickland with a 4-3-3. And Harry Gant holds him off. Here comes Charlie, who has won a race in that Junior Donlevy Ford this year with a 2-2-4. And he gets Schrader and goes from 22nd up to 10th. Nice to see that Junior Donlevy Ford up there. And last but not least is Dick Trickle. And we got a 2-3-6. And going after Mr. Gant. And he gets him. Knocks Handsome Harry back to 21st. Dick Trickle up to 12th. Good job. Okay, we're up to turn 6, folks. And we got a smart plus a problem. So first we'll do smart in the top group. Ernie Irvan, 2 chances. Takes a 5 or a 6 to get Davy. 1-1 though, but he's got another shot on him. 1-6. Ernie Irvan gets the job done. Puts that Kodak Chevy up front. Turn number 6. How about that? Ernie Irvan's had a rough start to this year, folks. He's run up front, but he always seems to have a problem near the end. Rusty Wallace is smart. Takes a 5 or 6 to beat Ernie. 6-6-6. Triple sixes. Rusty Wallace has a problem. Michigan is really biting him in the butt. 51, he spins, but he'll drop back to 20th. Stays in the race. How about Bill Elliott? First, we talked about Bill today. Again, it takes a 5 or 6 to beat Ernie. 6-1, nope, and that is it for turn 6. See who moves up here to the top group. And it'll be Alan Kowicki. And that Hooter 7. AJ's not in this race. Antonio. Yeah, he only ran in a handful of races in '92 in NASCAR. Let's see if Sterling Marlin can move on up. Yes, he does. He moves up to 19th. Rusty back to 20th. We got our first pit stop of the race. And we got both groups in 3 and 4 will switch spots. So we'll grab a handful of chips. See what happens here. First up is Ernie Irvan. He needs an 8. And he doesn't get it. Jeffrey Bodine needs a 7. He doesn't get it. Bill needs a 10. He gets it with snake eyes. Good job. Jimmy Hensley needs a 6. And he barely gets it. Good job by that 66 crew. DW needs an 8. And he barely gets it. Good job by that Western Auto Parts. Davey Allison needs a 10. And he gets her done. These guys are doing great here. Alan Kowicki needs a 10. Gets her done. Ricky Rudd needs a 8. And doesn't get it. Charlie in that 90 car needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Mark Martin needs a 9. And he gets it. How about Dick Trickle with a 7? He barely gets it. Let's grab some more chips. All righty, we got Wally in that 16 needing a 6. Doesn't get it with boxcars. Cal Petty needs a 9. He gets her done. Mr. Excitement needs a 6. He gets it done. The King needs a 5. And doesn't. Brett Bodine needs a 7. Gets her done. Texas Terry Labonte needs a 6. Sorry, an 8. Gets her done with a 4. Earnhardt needs an 8. He barely gets it. And last but not least is Sterling Marlin, and he needs a 6 or an 8. An 8. See if Junior can come through with this. No. A lot of chips handed out, folks. So everybody but Jeffrey Bodine got one up in the top group. And only 4 drivers back here did. So nice job by these crews on the first pit stop. See if anybody can beat Ernie Irvan out of the pits here. Oh, I forgot about Ernie not getting a chip. And a 1-4, and Bill Elliott gets the lead here. Junior Johnson, great job. Oh, AJ Allmendinger. I'm sorry. No, he's not in this 92 set at all. Yeah, he's not in the 92 set. I forget what year Allmendinger started racing in the Cup. Okay, Bill Elliott gets the lead here on turn 7. And here we go. We got a top group of Star and a problem. First we'll do Star. Takes a 6 to beat Bill. Got a bunch of chips though behind him. 5-1, that ain't gonna get her done. Alan Kowicki, see if he gets it done. A 1-1, let's see if they burn their chips. Yes, they do. So that means poor Bill ain't gonna keep this lead very long, I don't think. Here comes Davey with 2 chances at him. Let's see if he gets him. 5-4, but he's got a second chance here. And a 5-1, he'll use his chip, but he won't stay up there long either, I don't think, with having to burn his chip. 28 car gets the lead back. And he might. Ernie Irvan has 2 chances at him, but doesn't have a chip. It'll take a 6 to get Davey. 4-1. And a 4-3. He keeps it. Now let's see who has the problem. And it'll be poor Jimmy Smut Means, I think, is going to have the problem. Yep. What kind of problems does Jimmy have? A 62. He has a clutch problem. Again, still in the beginning of the race. It'll take a 3. No. 52 car will finish 38th. Sure, they're dropping like flies. Michigan hard on the equipment. Engine problems, clutch problems. Sure. As we go to turn number 9. And we got a duel, and it'll be the 4 cars in the middle. So first up is Ricky Rudd. And there's no place for Ricky to go, and there's no place for Earnhardt to go. So there won't be no duel. We go to turn number 10. And we got a middle group of skill. Who's got the skill back here? First up is Sterling Marlin with a 5-2-6. Jimmy Hensley's going to have to use his chip to hold him off. Here comes Wally in that Keystone Beer corner. A 3-3-4. And DW holds him off without using the chip. Good job by DW. Jimmy Spencer with skill and a chip. And we got a 4-5-3. So he'll have to use his chip, but he knocks Allen back to 11th. Cal Petty with skill and a chip. Triple threes. Last few races, Cal Petty's had nothing but trouble. What kind of problem does he have this time? A 13, that's not good. Multiple problems. Unable to continue. He's out of the race in that 42 car. Darn. Sure. Cal Petty will finish 37th. He's dropping in the points. Was up in the top 10. Let's see if he stays there after this race. And last car with skill is Mark Martin with a chip. And a 4-3-6. So he'll make DW use his chip, and he'll use his to get it. So Mark goes up to 4th, knocks DW back to 8th. Let's see who moves up here after. Poor Cal Petty had a bunch of problems with that Pontiac. Rusty Wallace, can he get back up here in the middle group? Yes, he can. And everybody in the bottom group moves up. We'll have 36 cars running here at Michigan. Dropping pretty easy here. So we go to turn number 11. And we got a top group of Star in the top group. Takes a 6 to get Davey. And 4-2 ain't getting it done. Bill Elliott coming after him in that Junior Johnson number 11. A 1-5, but like I said, takes a 6 to get him. And Ernie Irvin's got 2 chances at him. 4-5, no. And a 2-2, no. Alrighty, on to turn number 12. And we got a top group of Trouble and a Problem. First trouble of the race and a problem. Let's see what happens here. Takes a 7 for Davey to avoid this. And Davey's involved in a wreck. Sure, that's his luck all year. He cannot get out of these wrecks. He's always getting involved. Ernie Irvin, did he go up there and bump him? He needs a 6. And Ernie Irvin's involved in this wreck. So old Swerving Irvin may have gave the old bumper to Davey. Jimmy Hensley needs a 10. And he barely gets it. Jimmy Hensley will be leading this race here after turn number 12. How about that, folks? When the caution comes out, Jimmy Hensley will move up here. Mark Martin needs an 8. Barely gets it. Bill needs a 10. Gets it. Mr. Excitement needs a 9. Doesn't get it. So we will be going to the middle group, folks. We got a big one. Got the big one. Jeffrey Bodine needs a 9. And he gets it. DW needs a 9. And he barely gets it. Dick Trickle needs a 6 plus a chip, though. And he'll have to use his chip. Alan Kowicki needs a 9. And he gets her done. Bodine needs a 9. Brett, but he has a chip, and he won't need to use it with barely getting a 9. Terry needs an 11. Doesn't have to burn his chip. Earnhardt needs a 10. Doesn't need to use his chip. Ricky Rudd needs a 9. And he has involved in a wreck. Poor Ricky in that Tide machine. How about Charlie in that 90 car? He's involved in a wreck too. That's not good. Old Junior Donlevy. And we got Wally Dollenbach. He needs an 8. And he gets her done. The King needs a 7. And the King is involved in a wreck. Damn. Hate to see that. Sterling Marlin needs an 8. He gets it done with a 3. And last but not least, and we will not be going to the bottom group, is Rusty needs a 10. And he gets it done. So everybody will move up here. And we'll see how many of these cars can get repaired and get back out on the track. So we had 6 cars involved in this wreck. And the leader was one of them, Davey Allison. Second place, Ernie Irvin. Both of those drivers have been in quite a few wrecks this year. We're about halfway through this season. There's 29 races here in 92. On race number 14, so halfway. So here we go. Can the King get back out on the track? We are still in the beginning of this race. So the King needs a 9 to stay in the race. And he gets it done. So the King gets the car fixed. Charlie needs a 9. And he barely gets it to get that 90 car back out on the track. And Rudd needs a 10. He gets her done. Get that Tide car back out there. And Jimmy needs an 8 to stay in this race. and he gets it done. Ernie Irvin, he needs an 8, and he gets it done. Last but not least is the leader, Davey Allison, and he needs an 11. So they all get the cars fixed, but they're back airways, that's for sure. And that'll take us to turn number 15, folks. So here we go, turn 15. And we got a bottom group of reflex. Let's see if some of these cars involved in a wreck was able to get the cars repaired enough to get back up in the middle group here. First up is the King. 1-3-1. I doubt if that's going to happen. And no, Rusty holds him off with having that reflex. Here comes Charlie. A 2-6-4. And he gets Rick Mast. And Charlie and Junior Donlevy must have not had much of a damage. Goes from 35th up to 18th. Ricky Rudd in that Tide car with a 2-3-1. I think we just did that. And this time it's Sterling, rather. That was a 2. And not happening. Sterling holds him off. Jimmy Spencer, Mr. Excitement. Not going nowhere with a 5. Davey Allison, who was leading this race, with a 6, ain't going nowhere. How about Bobby Hillen, who started this race in 5th? A 2-6-6. He gets the job done. Charlie doesn't stay up there long. Drops back to 25th as Bobby goes up to 18th. Derry Cope, haven't talked about him today, with a 3-2-2. And he gets Wally. He goes from 23rd up to 11th. Bobby Hamilton, that 68 car, a 3-1-5, and he's going to make Terry use his chip. And Dale Jarrett, that 18 car, with a 4-4-6, and he gets Handsome Harry. Goes from 20th up to 14th. And that's it for turn number 15. On to 16. And we got a middle group of reflex. Some of these guys just got up there with reflex. Jimmy Sauter. Let's see what Jim can do here. A 3-4-5. And he gets DW. Goes from 19th up to 5th. How about that for Jimmy Sauter? Good job. Bobby Hillen Jr. just got up here to the middle group, trying to get back up front with a 3-1-5. And he gets the job done, knocks Mark Martin from 2nd the whole way back to 18th. Good job by Bobby Hillen's got that car running good. And like I say, qualified 5th. Mr. Strickland in that Ray Bestis car, not going nowhere with a 6. How about Ken Schrader in that Kodiak Bear? No, the Bear's not going nowhere. Interstate Chevy, Dale Jarrett with a 2-6-4. And Allen holds him off. How about that? Here comes Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac with a 5-2-4. And Bill barely holds him off. Derry Cope, Pure Later car, not going nowhere with a 5. Earnhardt with the chip. He's going to need to use it. And he gets Mr. Sauter, goes from 10th up to 5th. But he'll burn that chip. Terry Labonte, Sunoco car, with a 3-5-3. And he gets the Snickers, Dick Trickles and Ford. And that is it for turn 16. On to our second pit stop of the race. And we got TV drivers in 1 and 3 will switch spots. Alrighty, first up is Alan Kowicki. He needs a 10. He gets a chip. Let's grab a few. Jimmy Sauter needs a 4. And look at that with Snake Eyes. That 89 crew did a great job. Brett Bodine needs a 7 to get a second one, and he doesn't get it. How about Jarrett? Needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Mark Martin needs a 9. Barely gets it with an 8. And DW and that Western Auto Parts needs an 8, and he gets it done. So Allen up to second with his chip. And these 4 drivers move up. We'll see if anybody can beat Jimmy Hensley out of the pits. Alrighty. 4-6 ain't going to happen. Good job by Cale Yarborough on that 66 team. Okay, folks. On to turn number 18. Getting close to the halfway point. We got a middle group of control. Who's got control? We got Mr. Strickland and that Ray Bestis Ford with a 4.65, and he gets Texas Terry Labonte and goes from 19th up to 7th. Good job by Strickland. Ken Schrader. So he got control? No, but Ted Musgrave's got control. 4.15. And Allen's going to have to burn his chip to stay there. Next up is Dick Trickle. A 1.26. He gets Jeffrey Bodine and goes from 15th up to 3rd. How about that? Gets that Ford up there. Knocks that Bud Moore Ford back. Derek Cope. Not going nowhere with a 5. Sterling Marlin trying to get that Maxwell car up front. A 2.14. And Allen barely holds him off. Here comes DW with a chip. A 1.12. He'll have to use his chip, but he gets second. Knocks Allen back to 11th. Here comes Mark Martin with a chip. Trying to get that Ford up front. A 6.25, and he gets Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle don't stay up to 3rd very long as Mark Martin puts that Jack Rouse 6 up there. Here comes that Kenny Bernstein Quaker State car. A 5.12, and he gets DW, but he'll have to burn his chip and gets that Ford up front. Ford's everywhere. Ford's in the top 4, people. Hensley, Bodine, the Brett type, Mark Martin, and Elliott all in Fords. Here comes Jimmy Sauter with a chip. And a 3.25. And he gets Mark Martin without using his chip. How about that, folks? Jimmy Sauter breaks up that Ford domination. And his Pontiac. Nice job by Jimmy with a chip. Looking good. Here on turn 18, we go to turn 19. And we got a duel, and it'll be Hut Strickland going after Brett Bodine. Needs a 4. And he doesn't get it, and he needs an 8 not to wreck. And he doesn't wreck. Keeps the car under control. Cross flags are out, folks. Halfway done. Turn 20. 20 turns down. 20 to go. We got a middle group of skill and a problem. First, we'll do the skill. And Ken Schrader trying to get out of this middle group with a 4.34. And Bill Elliott barely holds him off. Here comes Dale Jarrett with a 2.32. Bill holds him off. They're picking on Bill. Here comes Rusty with triple 2s. So poor Rusty's going to have a problem in the deuce. Those 2s didn't add up for him. A 21. He's got handling problems. See if he stays in the race. We are now in the middle part of this race. He's a B. It'll take a 7 for him to stay in the race. And no, not with boxcars. Poor Rusty Wallace will finish 36th. The Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac will not win the Miller Genuine Draft 400. Very disappointing to be out of this race halfway through, not have that good looking Pontiac out there. It's one of the best looking cars out there, black and gold. All righty, we got Sterling Marlin trying to get out of here. Not with a 2-1, he's not. How about Alan Kulwicki trying to get back up there? Not with a 6, he's not. DW, Western Auto Part, 414, and he gets Brett Bodine, goes from 9th up to 2nd. Good job by DW. And here comes Mark Martin with a 5.35, and this time they get Bill. Picked on him a lot, drops him back to 8th. And who has the problem this time? Looks like it's poor Jimmy Hilton in that 48 blows up. He'll finish 35th in that 48 car. Sure. First, we'll see who moves up here to the middle group. First up is Harry Gant. He's moving up. Everybody else just moves up, as we'll have 34 cars still running here. Jimmy Hensley out in front, followed by DW and Jimmy Sauter. Got some different guys up front. Mark Martin running 4th. Helen Jr. running 5th. Earnhardt 6th. Strickland 7th. Elliott 8th. Brett Bodine 9th. And Dick Trickle 10th. Like I say, a lot of different drivers up front. Turn 21. We got a top group of skill. Oh, we forgot the problem. Got a second problem. No, we didn't. We got James Hilton. So we got top group of skill. And it takes a 4 to beat Jimmy. See what happens here. 5-6. Mark Martin gets the lead. Jimmy Hensley was out front since turn 12. Nice job, but Mark gets him. The 6s was running wild here on turn 21. The 6 car went after that 66 car. Here comes DW with 2 chances at him. And it takes a 5 or 6 to get Mark. 5-3 ain't happening. And a 6-4 ain't happening. Turn 22. And we got a bottom group of heat. Haven't been in the bottom group much. Can Richard get out of this bottom group? Re-roll here. I was leaning. Not with 6. Not with a 6, he's not. Who else has heat? Rick Mass, haven't talked about him today. 3, 4, 6. He's getting the job done. Gets Dale Jarrett. Goes from 33rd up to 15th. Good job. Ricky Rudd bringing the heat. A 5-1-1. Not happening. How about Ernie Irvin? A 5-5-6. He gets the job done. Gets Ted Musgrave. Goes from 30th up to 17th. Good job by Ernie. Morgan Shepherd, like to see him get the Woods brothers up there. 3-6-1 probably ain't going to happen. Nah, not happening. Harry Gann holds him off. Here comes Charlie with a 2-1-3. And Bill holds him off. No, Bill doesn't. Bill does not have the heat. Charlie goes from 24th up to 8th. Gets Bill Elliott. Wait a second. Yeah, gets Bill Elliott. Good job. He doesn't have the heat. Wally Dolan back in that 16 car. Not going nowhere with a 6. Last one is going to be Chad Little. Not going nowhere with a 6. On to turn 23. And we got a duel. It's a 3 car. Jimmy Hensley. He's going to go after DW. Needs a 4. Gets her done. How about Jimmy Hensley taking over second? And a chip. Puts DW in a bad spot. Needs a 9, not to wreck. And he barely does. Hangs on to that Western Auto Parts car. Not very happy with Jimmy. Here we go, turn 23. And we got a middle group of Star in the middle group. First up is Terry Labonte. 3, 5, 6. Gets Earnhardt, goes from 18th up to 6th. Ernie Irvan, 2 chances, could get the lead here. A 1, 4, 5. He's going to get Bobby Hillin Jr. and take over 5th. Now he's going after Mark Martin. And it takes a 5 or 6 to get Mark. 3, 6. Look at that. Ernie Irvan from 17th up to the lead here on turn 23. Good driving by Swervin' Irvan. That car's flying today. Second time he's led. Here comes Ken Schrader with a 4, 6, 6. He gets Hutch Strickland. Puts that bear up there in the 7th spot. Here comes Jeffrey Bodine with a 4, 5, 6. He gets Terry Labonte. Terry doesn't stay up there long. Jeffrey goes up to 6th. Here comes Sterling trying to get that 22 car up front with a 1, 3, 3. And he gets DW. DW doesn't have the star quality. Goes from 12th up to 4th. Good job. Alan Kowicki in the Hooters car with a 5, 4, 6. Gets Mark Martin. Goes from 11th up to 5th. Brett Bodine trying to join his brother up there in the top group with a 6, 1, 6, 6 ain't happening. How about Charlie getting that 90 car up there with a 3, 5, 6, and he knocks the Bodine back to 8th. So the Bodine brothers are running 8th and 9th now. Turn 25, folks. 250 miles in the books. We got a bottom group of Skill. Who's got the Skill back here? First up is Dale Jarrett with a 4, 5, 2. And he gets Hutch Strickland. Goes from 33rd up to 16th. Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer in that 98. Not going nowhere with a 6. Davey Allison, 2 Skills, could get up to the top group. A 4, 3, 2. And he picked on the wrong guy. DW holds him off, but he's got another shot at least to get up to the middle group. As we drop the dice. We got a 5, 2, 6. And he gets Dick Trickle. Goes from 29th up to 10th. Good job by Davey. How about Greg Sachs here? 41 car. With triple ones, he's got a problem. What kind of problems does Greg Sachs have? 52. He's got a clutch problem unless he's an A or B. He's not. And we are now still in the middle part of the race. He's a C. It takes 5 for him to stay in the race, and he doesn't get it. Greg Sachs will finish 34th. Everybody will move on up. Morgan Shepherd trying to get out of the rear with the gear. Not with a 6, he's not. Here comes Awesome Bill from Dawsonville in that Budweiser Ford. A 1, 5, 6 gets the job done. Knocks. He's going to knock Bobby Hillin out of 17th. Moves on up. Here comes Mr. Potter. Haven't talked about him all day in that 77 car with a 3, 5, 5. I think he's going to get old Bill. Yes, he does. Bill doesn't stay up to 17th very long. Here comes Wally Dolan back. Not going nowhere with a 6. How about Chad Little? Not going nowhere with a 6. And last is Bobby Hamilton with a 4. He's not going nowhere. On the turn number 26. Turn 26, folks. We got a middle group of TV in the middle group. Got a few guys back here. First up is handsome Harry Gant with a 3.62. And he gets Ken Schrader, goes from 19th up to 7th. Dale Jarrett. What can Jarrett do for you? Nothing with a 5. DW. 241 ain't going nowhere. Mark Martin with a 4.46. And he retakes 5th from Alan Kowicki. These two are swapping places left and right. And last but not least is Brett Bodine with a 1.21 ain't going nowhere. Now we go to pit stops. Turn 27. And TV drivers in 3 and 6 will switch spots. Alrighty, grab a few chips here. See what these TV drivers can do. First up is Ernie Irvin. He needs an 8. And they don't come through for him. How about Jim Sauter? He needs a 4. No. Harry Gant needs a 9. No. These crews aren't doing very good. Mark Martin needs a 9. Barely gets it. Mark Martin. Brett Bodine needs a 7. And gets her done. Alan Kowicki needs a 10. Gets it done. Jarrett needs a 6. Gets it with double 3s. And last but not least is DW needs an 8. Gets it done. Okay. So Mark Martin moves up to 4th. Move these guys up here from the bottom. Alrighty, can anybody beat Ernie out of the pits here? 4-5. And Harry Gant trying to go back to back. First time Harry's led all race here in turn 27. Get that Skull Bandit up front. He won at Pocono. Now he's going for back-to-back races here in Michigan. Okay, as we make it to turn 28. And we got a middle group of Star in the middle group. Who's a Star? First one's Terry Labonte with a 4.12. I don't think that's going to happen. It does, but Jimmy Sauter uses his chip to hold him off. Sure. Ken Schrader with a 3.34. And he gets Ernie Irvin, goes from 15th up to 5th. Here comes Earnhardt and GM Goodwrench with a 5.66. And he gets Sterling Marlin, goes up to 7th. A lot of movement. Davey Allison, 2 chances, could get the lead here. 1.54, and he gets Charlie. Now he's got a shot at the lead. Can Davey get that Ford back up front for the 3rd time? And takes a 5 or a 6 to get Harry. 1-1 ain't getting it done. Here comes Jeffrey Bodine with a 4.45. And he gets Ken Schrader. Ken don't stay up there long. Bud Moore's Ford's up front. Here comes Jarrett with a chip. 5.31. See if they use their chips here. They don't. Here comes Brett Bodine with a chip. And a 3-3-2. He doesn't get him. Let's see if they use their chips. And they do use their chips this time. Here comes Alan Kowicki. Not going nowhere with that 6. Let's see if Hensley and Allen use their chips. And they don't. And that's it for turn 28. Alrighty, folks. Turn 29. Getting near the end here, folks. And we got a top group of Reflex in the top group. First up is Earnhardt. Take a 6 to beat Harry. 3-6. He gets it done. Puts that 3 car up front for the first time today. Turn 29. Takes a 5 or a 6 to get Earnhardt. Here comes Davey. 1-1 ain't happening. Jeffrey Bodine, 2 chances to get him. 2-1 doesn't get him the first time. 1-1 doesn't get him the second time. Here comes Mark Martin. 5-4, no. And here comes Jimmy Sauter. A 1-5. Jimmy Sauter gets the job done. Puts that 89 car out in front on turn 29. That 89 car. How about that? What a great run by Jimmy in that Pontiac. We go to turn number 30, 300 miles out of 400. We got a top group of Heat. Heat in the top group. Won't take much to get Sauter, just a 3 or higher. Here comes Harry Gant. And a 1-6, he gets her done. Puts that Oldsmobile back up front here on turn 30. But Jimmy Sauter leading a few laps here. Had to be nice to get that out there. And it takes a 6 to beat Harry Gant. Here comes Jeffrey Bodine. 4-4 ain't happening. Mark Martin, 2 chances to get him. So we lose the dice. 5-2, no. And a 5-3, no. And how about this? Jimmy Hensley with heat and a chip. Again, it takes a 6 not to use the chip. 2-3, he doesn't get him, but he'll put that 66 car back out front with using the chip. Alrighty, we go to turn 31, folks. And we got a bottom group of Smart and a Problem. First, we'll do Smart. First up is Ricky Rudd. And a 5-5-2. And he doesn't get Rick Mass. Next up is Ted Musgrave. I haven't talked about Ted today. A 3-4-1. And Ernie Irvin holds him off. Next up is Morgan Shepherd with a 1-4-1. And Ernie holds him off. How about Mr. Waltrip, Mikey Tight, with a 3-2-2. And he gets Charlie. Goes from 26th up to 13th. Here comes Bobby Hillen with a 4. That ain't getting it done. Here comes Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Needs to get out of this bottom group with a 4-5-4. And he goes from 23rd up to 16th. And last driver is Wally Dollenbach. That's 16 with a 2-5-2 going after Bill. Bill holds him off. And now let's see who has the problem here. And it's going to be poor Mr. Belmont in that 59. He blows up. and he'll finish 33rd. So we go to turn number 32 with only 32 cars running in the race, folks. Your leader right now is Jimmy Hensley, followed by Gant. Then second, Earnhardt. Third, Martin. Fourth, Jeffrey Bodine. Fifth, Allison. Sixth, Jimmy Sauter. Seventh, Kowicki. Eighth, Bodine, Brett Bodine. Ninth, and DW rounding out the top 10. Here we go. 9 turns to go, folks. Well, sorry, that was turn 32. 8 turns to go. We got a bottom group of Skill and, Star. Who's a star? Richard's a star. And Richard has a problem. Rolls triple threes. Sure. A 45. He's got a radiator problem. He's a C, and we are in the last part of the race. So it takes snake eyes for Richard to stay in the race. And he doesn't get it. The King will finish 32nd. Disappointing day for the King. All righty, Hutch Strickland. He's up next. A 4.65. And he gets Mr. Potter. Goes up to 18th. See what Ricky Rudd can do. With a 4.23. And DW is going to have to use his chip to hold him off. Next up is Ted Musgrave. He's not 4.34. And he gets Schrader. Goes from 28th up to 12th. Morgan Shepherd with a 3.56. And he gets Mr. Mass. How about Morgan getting up to 17th? Here comes Charlie with a 3.52. And Morgan holds him off. Here comes Mr. Terry Labonte with a 2.35. And Ted Musgrave doesn't stay up in 12th long as Terry Labonte gets up there. And last but not least is Bobby Hamilton with a 2.12. And Alan Kowicki holds him off. And I'll be right back, folks. Give me a minute. All right, folks, we're back here. And we're on to turn number 35. Whoa. And we got a middle group of skill. Who's got the skill in this middle group? First up is Morgan Shepherd trying to get that Woods Brothers car up front with a 3-4-2. And he gets Jeffrey Bodine. Goes from 17th up to 5th. Good job by Morgan Shepherd. Here comes Bill Elliott and that Budweiser Ford with a 1-2-3. And he gets Earnhardt, goes from 16th up to 3rd. Good job by Awesome Bill and Junior Johnson. And Ernie Irvin with that 4 car with a 1-6-6 gets poor Jimmy Sauter. Jimmy goes back to 15th after leading this race. Sterling Marlin trying to get that other Junior Johnson's Ford up front with a 5-3-1 ain't happening. And here comes Jarrett with a chip and a 3-1-2, and he'll get Handsome Harry Gant, but he'll need to use his chip and goes from 11th up to 2nd. DW, 2 chances here, could get the lead. And we got a 1-3-6, so he takes Mark Martin and gets 4th. And DW now trying to put that number 17 Western Auto Parts car up front, and it only takes a 4 to get Jimmy. Oh, and triple threes. DW has a problem. Oh, man. Pushing that car a little too hard. A 14. Cut tire. He'll drop down to 31st. Ain't that a shame? Sure. And last but not least is Alan Kowicki. And 2-5-6. He gets Davey without having to use his chip. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. With a 6, he gets it done. All righty. Everybody moves up here. See if Davey can get back up into that top group. No. How about Brett Bodine? No. How about Mark Martin? Yes, Mark Martin goes from 10th up to 7th. See who moves up to the middle group here. This poor DW drops back to 31st. At least he's still in the race. Here comes Mr. Hamilton. He gets up there. All righty, folks. Turn 36. We got a bottom group of skill and a problem. So DW, 2 chances here. Could get back up to the top group. Let's see what happens. 2-3-5. So he gets his brother, knocks his own brother. Brotherly love be damned. He goes from 31st up to 12th. Now DW trying to get up in that top group with a 1-3-4. And he does, goes from 31st after that cut tire up to 4th. Puts on a new set of Goodyears, and he goes flying, folks. Flying up through there. Next up is Mike Potter. Haven't talked much about him today. Not going nowhere with a 4. How about Mr. Excitement with a 3-4-3? And so you're going to get Earnhardt. He sure is. Goes from 28th up to 15th. Mr. Excitement getting the job done. Here comes Ken Schrader. 5-5-3. And he gets Hutch Strickland. Goes from 27th up to 17th. A lot of moving back here. And Wally Dollenbach's got skill, and so does Chad Little with a 4. He's not going nowhere. And how about Chad Little? Haven't talked about him today. A 1-6-3. And he gets Bobby Hamilton, moves up 1 spot. And now the problem. Who has the problem? And we said it. We haven't talked about Mr. Potter all day, but now he has a problem trying to get up there. 46. What kind of problem does he have? He smacks the wall, and that'll be the end of the day for the 77. Tries to move one up and gets a little out of control, and he'll finish 31st. Mike Potter out of the race. And we go to our last pit stop, the money stop. Let's see who can earn some chips here. And it'll be TV drivers and 1 and 4 switch. Let's see what happens here. Got a lot of TV drivers in the top group. First up is Alan Kowicki. Already has 1 chip. And make it 2. How about DW? He needs an 8. He gets it done. Jarrett needs a 6. He doesn't get it done. Ernie needs an 8. He gets it done. Mark Martin needs a 9. He barely gets it done. Nice job by Jack Roush. Jimmy Sauter needs a 4. No. Harry Gant needs a 9. Yes, Harry Gant gets it done. Last but not least is Mr. Bodine, Kenny Bernstein, and the crew with an 8. Doesn't get it done. Alan Kowicki looking pretty good with 2 chips. Harry moves up to 8th. Let's see if anybody can beat Jimmy Hensley out of the pits. A 2-2 DW. Nice job by that Western Auto State car. He gets up front there. Turn 37. First time DW's led all race. We only got 3 turns to go, folks. Can DW hold off this pack? It is a middle group of heat. He's got the heat. Chad Little just moved up here. He's got the heat. A 2-2-6. And he gets Jimmy Hensley. How about that? Nothing runs like a deer. That Mellon, number 9, up front. First time. Haven't talked about him all race, and there he is in 3rd. Ken Schrader with a 1-4-5. And Mark Martin's going to have to use his chip to hold him off. Jeffrey Bodine not going nowhere with a 6. How about Brett Bodine? The Bodine brothers back-to-back, a 3-4-2. And Mark holds him off. Here comes Mr. Sterling Marlin in that 22. A 3-1-1 ain't getting it done. How about Morgan and the Woods brothers? Not going nowhere with a 5. And here comes Harry Gant with a chip. A 5-3-2. And he'll burn his chip and make Ernie Irvin burn his late in the race. And ain't no use saving them, folks. We go 2 turns to go. Turn 39, folks. 2 turns to go here at Michigan. And we have a duel, an 8. And that is the 6 cars in the middle. That's Jimmy Hensley and Derek Cope. It's late in the race. Could either go from 19th to 30th and 18th to 30th or to 8th and 9th. What the hell? Ring the bell and go for it. Here comes Jimmy Hensley going after Harry Gant. He gets the job done. Jimmy Hensley goes from 19th up to 8th, earns a chip, puts Harry Gant in a bad spot. Here comes Derek Cope, needs a 3. He gets it done too, puts poor Jimmy Sauter in a bad spot, goes from 9th up there, gets a chip. Handsome Harry needs a 9 not to wreck. And he gets it with an 8. He's safe. And Jimmy Sauter needs an 11. And he doesn't get boxcars. He holds on. And it's white flag is out, folks. White flag here at Michigan. Here we go. Can DW hold on to win this race? And again, it's a duel, and it'll be the sixth place cars, 6th, 19th, and 18th in the middle group going after it. So Harry Gant going after 10th. So DW will win this race. And Harry Gant goes up from 19th up to 10th. We ain't going to worry about the chip. And Jimmy Sauter, does he want a chance? He's got an 11. He's going to chance it. He's going to go after 11th. Needs a 2. Doesn't get it. So for Mr. Excitement not to wreck, he needs a 9. Yeah, Mr. Excitement needs a 9. And he doesn't get it. Jimmy Spencer has wrecked. Harry Gant put him in a bad spot, and he spins out. Jimmy Sauter needs an 11, and he gets it. So everybody will move up. On that last lap, Harry Gant puts Jimmy Spencer in the wall. I wouldn't want to be doing that. And he will finish 30th. Mr. Excitement wrecks out of this race in the 98 car and finishes 30th. He is going to be waiting for Harry Gant to get back to the pits. You can believe that. But your winner here at Michigan, folks, DW, puts that Chevy at Western Auto Parts Chevy up front and wins the race. How about that? If it ever comes into focus. There we go. Comes into focus finally. DW, your winner. Nice to see DW up there. His first win of the year. And that Chevy. Alan Kowicki's going to keep the points lead here, finishing second. And that Ford. And how about Chad Little? And that number 9 going up to third place for that Melling crew. Good job by him. Ernie Irvin finally rebounds and has a nice race. Finishes 4th in the 4 car. Mark Martin finishes in the top 5, finishes 5th. Good job by Mark. Bill Elliott gets back up in the top 10, finishes 6th after being in the rear with the gear for a while. And Dale Jarrett finishes 7th. Not bad for Dale Jarrett. 2 good races in a row. And Jimmy Hensley, I'll tell you, he is the talk of this season so far. What a great job by Hensley. Again, led some laps and finished 8th. Cale Yarborough's got to be happy with the way Jimmy's been running this year. Derek Cope finishes in the top 10, finishes 9th. And the final car in the top 10 is handsome Harry Gant. After making that bold move and wrecking Jimmy Spencer, pulls into the pits, and Jimmy goes over and is laying on Harry inside the car. Officials have to break it up. You knew Mr. Excitement wasn't going to be putting up with that. So we got a fight in the pits. Oh, handsome Harry. Jimmy's trying to make him not look so handsome. Terry Labonte finishes 11th. Morgan Shepherd is top 15. 2 races in a row. Not a bad day for the Woods brothers. Would have liked to have been a little higher. Sterling Marlin finishes lucky number 13. Davey Allison, not a great finish for Davey, finishing 14th. And he led quite a bit up front there for a while, and he was the pole sitter. So not happy with that 14th place finish. And here comes the Bodine brothers. Brett finishes 16th. And Jeffrey's going to finish, Brett finishes 15th, and Jeffrey's going to finish 16th in that 26 and 15. Bodine brothers couldn't get away from each other. There for a while, they was up around 8th or 9th together. Ken Schrader and that Kodiak Bear finishes 17th. Jimmy Sauter Good day for Jimmy, but kind of disappointing. Heck, he had the lead for a while and finishes in 18th. But I think if you'd have told him you got a top 20 finish at the beginning of the race, he'd have been happy. But I don't think he's happy now. I think he thought he should have done better. Bobby Hamilton, he'll finish 19th. Wally in that 16 car, he finishes 20th. Musgrave in the 55, he finishes 21st. Bobby Hillin Jr., after being up front, start this race, finishes 22nd. And old Charlie in the 90 car finishes 23rd. Rick Mass in the 1, he'll finish 24th. And we got Dick Trickle in the 8, finishing 25th. Hutch Strickland in the 12, finishing 26th. Disappointing day for Earnhardt, who actually had the lead for a while, finishing 27th. It's that kind of year for Earnhardt. Has not done well. Ricky Rudd, after winning just a few weeks ago, finishes 28th. And Mikey, who started last and never really done much at all in this race, Michael Waltrip, finishes 29th. Last car still running. Alrighty, folks, I want to thank Antonio and Tim for stopping by. Hope you all enjoyed this race at Michigan, the Miller Genuine Draft 400. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And on your way out of Brooklyn, Michigan, and the Michigan International Speedway, hit that like button and leave comments about this race and what you think of this 92 season. Till next time, y'all take care and have a great afternoon.